Hello there! It's that time again. Yes, it is. It is time for our weekly tarot and astrology reading here on this beautiful, down here in South Florida, a little chilly Sunday afternoon on January the 17th of 2021. As usual, I am going to go over some Tarot de Marseille cards that I've drawn at random for our upcoming week. And we are going to look at some astrology, which is very, very interesting. So do stay tuned. Okay, in a moment, 3 Tarot de Marseille trump cards will come onto the screen and cover my face. The cards I drew at random for this week are the Hierophant, or Pope, in our Tarot de Marseille, the Hanged Man, and Temperance. Now, as soon as I looked at these cards, I got the message. A lot of times I'll read singular cards from left to right, as if in different frames, but here it all came together at once, and that central card, the Hanged Man. The Hierophant is gazing towards him, and his eyes seem to be fixed on perhaps the binds on his one foot that's hanging him upside down from the pole. The Hierophant is preaching, he is talking, okay? He is radiating advice. The Hierophant at times can be seen as rigidity too, or very conventional ways of looking at things. When we look at the Lady of Temperance, she is looking at him as well. She's looking more towards his heart or his belly. She's looking at his situation, his feelings, and she's blending back and forth together with her cups. So a short way of taking the message would be to say that in looking at what binds us, we get out of it with flexibility and compromise. I sort of like that. Lesson, or that crystallized meaning. That works for me. That crystallized message. It works pretty well. If we broke it down a little further, we could say that the two people who are at the foot of the Hierophant become the two poles from which the Hanged Man is trapped. And then we have the cups, which are again are flowing back and forth. So we could also say, in blindly following what we think is authority, we can find ourselves bound and get out of it with flexibility. That's another way to look at these cards. So looking at the astrology this week, okay, let's go on to some mundane stuff first. Today, Sunday, we have the moon in a sextile aspect to the sun. No negative squares being applied to Saturn or Mars. This would be a good day to work on things for personal success, authority, anything that is solar related. The sun rules success. It does rule authority, or getting along with authority, trying to impress other people, get them to see things our way, and do us favors. So if you need something like that, this would be a good day to do it. Then on Monday, the moon too is in good shape, applying beneficial aspects to different planets. So really not bad at all. Okay, and the moon governs things like the home life, the domestic scene, things that grow. We are in a waxing phase in the moon, so if you want to attract good things, this is a good period of time to do it. We had our new moon last week. Now we are in a waxing phase, time to attract things. So let's take a look now at Wednesday, the 20th. That's the day of the inauguration. Now, last 2 weeks ago, okay, almost 2 weeks ago, I was looking at January 6th, and I saw where things were going to be rather colorful. And looking back on that, I see how really accurate the planets and stars were. We had the moon in negative aspect, square aspect to Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury. I mean, it was really a battle. It was in opposition to Mars, which is planet of aggression. The moon was moving fast, and the moon was in Via Combusta. That's an area of the zodiac that it can be plagued by negative fixed stars. So it's no surprise we had the violence, the uprising. I knew it was going to be colorful, and that's how I described it. I didn't predict violence. I did predict a very, very colorful day on that day of counting the electoral votes. Now, this coming Wednesday, we have a very similar situation, not identical, and I'll explain it carefully. We are going to have the moon applying squares to the sun, planet of authority, to Jupiter, which can also be seen as involving government, okay, and Saturn, which is definitely structure. It's applying a square aspect, which is battling, squaring off, battling with these three planets. It is conjunct Mars this time. It's not in opposition. The moon is void of course. Now, when the moon is void of course, it's between signs. It hasn't fully moved into the next sign that it occupies. And in traditional astrology, if you undertake something with the moon void of course, it's rarely profitable. The moon is moving slowly, so action doesn't unveil as quickly. But now, what's kind of chilling is the moon is sitting in the 12th house of secret enemies, the house of undoing. And it is squaring those three planets, the sun, Jupiter, and Saturn, all sitting in the 10th house, the house of authority, the house of government. So am I predicting violence? Well, it's a real possibility. And of course, that's been foreseen. Okay? It has been foreseen that there's going to be violence on Inauguration Day, if not at the inauguration site, because of the 25,000 National Guard that will be in place. Could be in other places in the country. But definitely, it will be a very, very contentious time, to say the least. Well, there you go. There is your weekly dose of tarot and astrology. I appreciate you. I love you. I thank you for your support. If you have any questions or concerns about the reading, whether on YouTube or Facebook, drop a question in the comments section, and I'll personally address it right away. Okay, thank you again. Until I see you next week, many, many blessings.